So today, what we're going to do is we're going to have a dialogue between generations, and the whole essence of it is to hit home the point that COVID is still here, and it's not something to become casual about. All right. So coming to the what, the why, and who is here. So the what basically is about the theme of this discussion. That is why we have to start giving it down, and it's high time that we do. So Avril and I were just talking about how we could incorporate this current social issue into what we do and why it's necessary to shed light on this. So when we come to the why aspect of it, it's mainly because the rising cases and the rising negligence is just so alarming. Instead of taking a call as to how we have to move forward, we're just taking a back seat. So if now is not the time to start giving a much needed dam, then when is it? We are going to have two point of views with us. From Generation Z, we have Vandita Manohar as a speaker. And then from the Generation X and everything in between, we have Miss Avril.
Thank you so much, Sharfa. Your introduction was really warm. And hi, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. And today I am here to represent the Gen Z category. At a point, I think of it saying that, this entire lockdown just made us sit and face our fears, face our thoughts, face everything that was going on in our lives, something that we have kept away from us from a long, long, long time. It just came back to us. And I was one of it. I was one of those victims where I was just at home constantly thinking of all the things I could have done better, all the regrets, I never had the time to think of it before. But now that all this happened, and the constant fear of life, the uncertainty of what's going to happen, just took a very big toll on us. And that is when I decided to take this online. That is when I decided to, I realized that I may not be the only one going through it. There might be a lot of other people who are actually literally just sitting between four walls and facing their fears. And that's when I posted my first Instagram video about the mental well-being of a person.
So a lot of us were living in our own bubbles, whether it's Gen Z, Gen Y, Gen X, baby boomers, and everything in between. We all have our challenges, and our challenges are in different segments of life depending upon what age group we fall into. So for as a therapist, it's encompassing everybody. So from the age of 20, 18, 19, right up to the age of 60, I've seen a whole gamut of how this has affected people. But the one thing that is a constant, but it's still evolving constantly, is how we react or respond to this. And so this conversation today is not about placing blame, or it's not about trying to defend a particular generation. It's about looking at things from a macro point of view, which is also why, when I asked people to come, I chose certain people who have, like Mr. Reggie Varghese, Brian, Farad, Dr. Srinivas. I chose people who I know have value to bring to this conversation. Because it's not one person, deciphering this whole maze or trying to, work through this whole puzzle. I'm coming from a space of having been a 22-year-old and a 21-year-old and an 18-year-old, like the rest of us on this team or on this conversation. And now in my 40s, I can kind of think about how this is affecting different people in different age groups. But the one thing that affects us all is it's the new normal. And how are you going to respond to this? When you react to something like, Vandita just said, when you're always busy doing whatever you're doing, you're not really cognizant of the fact about how magnificent your life is. You're not cognizant of the fact that every time you breathe, it's a gift. And when you take a step back to evaluate, and this is the right time to evaluate, why am I not wearing a mask? It's not about Sharafa or about him or about her or about Rohit. It's about you. What are you doing to make a difference? Mahatma Gandhi said, if you want change, be the change. This is it. You can empower yourself, and because you empower yourself, you can empower others. The media has been focusing on what they're paid to focus on. It's a job. how you react or respond to news is completely based on your divine intelligence. We're all blessed with a divine intelligence. It's a universal divine intelligence. How are you using your intelligence during this time is my concern. Because if you take a step back and you truly respect yourself as a divine being, doesn't matter whether you're 5 or 50, if you respect yourself as a divine being, you will then respect others. And you will mask up, you will sanitize, you will, stop indulging in, pettiness, calling people out, not being, not being able to kind of put yourself second and put somebody else first, not going out for the heck of going out, then those things become more meaningful because you have respect for yourself, you have respect for your own life. So I'm very happy to be here. And I'm really looking forward to having a really healthy discussion. And I'm really, really looking forward to engaging with the audience online, especially, the people who I know. And I can't wait to engage with the people that Vandita knows. Because I think the more people who we get involved in this very constructive and vital conversation at this time, I firmly believe the pen, the voice, the ideology is mightier than a sword or a gun or a bullet. So I'm going to hand it back to Sharfa.
That was lovely. Thank you so much, Avil. And very insightful. So I was listening to both of you. And to take this forward, I have a question for both of you as well. Firstly, Vandita was talking about how there's a fear about what's coming next and how we wanted stuff to be over, right? My question is, what do you think our generation, that is Generation Z, has been doing to get to that point? We know we're scared of something, but then when you're scared of something, when you're aware of that, you actively try to, get over it. So what are certain circumstances, certain incidents that you think have contributed positively towards this?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. So here it is. We are living in a world which is completely managed by social media. We all know it. So what people of our generation, that's my generation, what they are doing is they are taking their platform to help anybody in need. For example, there are so many people, in need of oxygen, in need of beds, in need of all of that. So these influencers, as they call themselves, are going online and posting to their vast audience about these screenshots. And the best part is they're getting help from it. So what we're doing is we're using whatever platform that we have, that we build our audience on, to actually sort of help people and get things done. And one more thing is all these WhatsApp forwards of all these home remedies and all of that. What we are trying to do is we are trying to educate our parents to believe what is actually true and not just get into this whole chain of home remedies saying you take steam, COVID is over, you don't have to take English medicine, your oxygen is going to be completely fine, just breathe in oxygen outside. These are some things that our generation is trying to focus on. Our generation is trying to educate the older ones that not everything you see on the internet is true. You need to be very selective about what you read and what you register here. So yeah, that's what our generation is doing right now. And I have personally seen a lot of them do flash mobs. I mean, of course, with social distancing and stuff. I've seen them stand out, volunteer. In fact, two of our own people I know have volunteered for COVID duty. So we are trying to give in our best to find out and to bring this entire situation under control as fast as we can, and just trying to amplify whatever we can, just try and get help in whatever way we can.
The help is being provided by different generations. But at the same time, we need to come together to actually help people in terms of their mental state. So the physical element is one element. But we need to help people to understand and not to react, to respond, to think about what they're doing. Because if we want to beat this virus, which each of us wants, we are finding ourselves that the virus is always one step ahead of us. And why is that? Because we are reacting. We're taking offense to things that don't matter. We're not thinking. We're not sharing the right information. Have you noticed the WhatsApp forwards of doom and gloom get forwarded to 200 people? Now, of course, because we have a restriction of 5 people, the government had to clamp down on that because everything that was negative was being forwarded. And we are the kind of people who just read information. It doesn't matter what you are. You just read information and you just blindly think, oh, I trust this person who sent it to me because she or he seems, quite intellectual. They have a degree, or she was in my class. So I'm going to forward it to people. Read the information first. Think about who you're sending it to. I think we need to get into a space where we are thinking more. There are enough people providing services. If you don't want to provide a service, at least provide mental space. You can hold people mentally, by your mindfulness.
But circling back to what Ms. Avril was telling us about how, we should focus on ourselves, not get swept away by what's going outside. Don't you think that's part of the problem? That people are only concerned about themselves to a certain extent. And that's what's caused us to, be in the situation in the first place. We're not equipped to handle a pandemic. We cannot expect people to, follow protocol because everybody is in their own world.
So when I said that we need to look within ourselves, I was talking in relation to the virus. It gives you time to take a step back and reevaluate your life. It gives you time to take a step back and respond to how you're actually reacting to the virus. We need to really reassess by going within ourselves. And when you go within yourselves and park your ego outside your front door, then it makes sense. Don't be self-absorbed and go within yourself with this I, me, myself, BS. Go within yourself, parking your ego at the front door so that you can analyze as a spiritual being, who am I, and what am I doing right now?